It's back here, Jorge.
Boy, did I just go off. You
All
know,
right, so
it
first
was
of
that
all-
espresso. I had an espresso, which is always a mistake.
In the back row here, Sigourney, first of all, you were fantastic last night on Saturday Night Live. Having fun with Avatar. Now, I don't know who answers this question, if it's the actors, the director, or the producer, but it's something groundbreaking you're in, and so many people have told me how much they've loved the individual performances, but I don't know if the voters of these different groups understand that when you become animated, you're still there acting, and they have not been singled out. So is that a Jim?
I'm going to
Okay.
answer this, and John is probably going to jump in as well. Look, first of all, I think there's a bit of a learning curve for the acting community to really understand what we did. And I'm going to give you an example. I was at another award show just recently, and I was talking to Meryl Streep because I always wanted to meet her because she's very cool. And I was talking about the performance capture stuff, and I mentioned that about how much the actors love doing it. And she said, "Oh yes, I know. I had such a great time doing Fantastic Mr. Fox." And I thought, "Oh my God, this is a perfect example of what's wrong." She did on Fantastic Mr. Fox a vocal performance, which was then animated. She didn't perform the character physically over a period of months, and in fact years for you, Zoe. A total performance, facial, body, everything that was practically, captured as a data set down to every tiny muscle movement. She did a voice performance maybe for a day, maybe for 2 days at a lectern. It's a completely different deal. Everything that Neytiri does and that Grace's avatar does and that Jake's avatar does in the movie is determined by them. Every gesture, every nuance, even in the little technical people and crew. I mean, some of the crew that we worked with on the virtual production, we were basically locked in a gray room together for 3 years. So you either get along or there's blood on the floor at the end of that time.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, well, that too, it's just like being, in a
James?
penitentiary with the same people for a long time.
Hi, over here.
Hello.
After the success of Avatar, would you be interested in the next couple of years in doing an extremely low-budget indie-type film?
I have a more modestly budgeted film that's a straight drama called The Dive, which I have an excellent script, and it's a possibility that I might look at that either between this and the next one or right after the next one. We have to map out a strategy. It's kind of too soon. We're still kind of in shock from what's happening with Avatar, and we haven't been able to get off this ride yet. This roller coaster ain't stopping.
And don't let
Hello,
us
can
get
we
off.
have a question? Can we have a question in Spanish, please, from Ms. Alanya? Hola.
Yes.
Felicidades. Si nos puede decir en español un poco de cómo fue toda esa experiencia de trabajar con el equipo y trabajar en ese proyecto y cómo se siente esa noche.
Yo creo que como artista y también como mujer en esta industria, son muy pocas las veces que uno tiene la experiencia de sentirse completamente sólida y presente y considerada y respetada en un set y el yo poder decir que como mujer y como actriz he trabajado con un hombre director que no solamente es conocido por decir historias bien bonitas, pero también por challenge, retar su propia gravedad artística. Y también por darle a las mujeres en Hollywood papeles excepcionales. Y eso fue la solidaridad del equipo en este set. Fue algo completamente maravilloso que solamente con estos premios y estos galardones que estamos recibiendo, simplemente nos da la prueba de que cuando volvamos otra vez y con Dios por delante va a ser fenomenal, porque creamos una familia, una unidad fenomenal.
James, on such a celebratory evening when you're celebrating this tremendous film, do you have any thoughts about the tremendous real-life plight that people are experiencing in Haiti right now?
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of dichotomy of the heart when you're having such a spectacular evening. You think about how fortunate you are, and I can't imagine being more fortunate that I am and that we all are right now. And you can't think of anybody on the planet as a group of people that are less fortunate right now you know, than the people in Haiti. And I think, you know, look, as the Hollywood community has always been great, and you know, look, part of it's liberal guilt. Part of it is we you know, generally as a community have a really big heart, and we do want to make a difference, and I'm sure we will, absolutely, and I know I will do my part as well. It's just, it's so heartbreaking. I mean, I wish I could get on a plane and go down there and help pass out food. I know from my experience trying to help with the hurricanes, the two big hurricanes, you know, Katrina, and some other disasters that have taken place in the United States. You try to get to the front lines to help, and you get in the way, and they don't want to do it that way. They just want you to send money to some charity that takes, you know, 70% of it for administration, and I hate that too, you know. So there have to be better ways to do it. I would submit, though, since I have a little bit of a pulpit here for 30 seconds, that the big problem that we've seen with the Katrina disaster and with the tsunami in Indonesia and with what's happening now in Haiti is that the first thing that happens is the infrastructure just completely collapses. And I would pose the question that why can we put a special ops force on the ground with such great effectiveness to go after a military objective, and somehow it eludes us to have the same kind of ready-to-go force that can get in and set up a temporary infrastructure to help out in this type of situation. And that needs to be dealt with, not just at a national level, but at an international level. We need that. We don't have it, and we need it. And it's stupid not to have it.
It's back here, Jorge.
Boy, did I just go off. You
All
know,
right, so
it
first
was
of
that
all-
espresso. I had an espresso, which is always a mistake.
In the back row here, Sigourney, first of all, you were fantastic last night on Saturday Night Live. Having fun with Avatar. Now, I don't know who answers this question, if it's the actors, the director, or the producer, but it's something groundbreaking you're in, and so many people have told me how much they've loved the individual performances, but I don't know if the voters of these different groups understand that when you become animated, you're still there acting, and they have not been singled out. So is
Yeah.
that a Jim?
I'm going to
Okay.
answer this, and John is probably going to jump in as well. Look, first of all, I think there's a bit of a learning curve for the acting community to really understand what we did. And I'm going to give you an example. I was at another award show just recently, and I was talking to Meryl Streep because I always wanted to meet her because she's very cool. And I was talking about the performance capture stuff, and I mentioned that about how much the actors love doing it. And she said, "Oh yes, I know. I had such a great time doing Fantastic Mr. Fox." And I thought, "Oh my God, this is a perfect example of what's wrong." She did on Fantastic Mr. Fox a vocal performance, which was then animated. She didn't perform the character physically over a period of months, and in fact years for you, Zoe. A total performance, facial, body, everything that was practically, you know, captured as a data set down to every tiny muscle movement. She did a voice performance maybe for a day, maybe for 2 days at a lectern. It's a completely different deal. You know, everything that Neytiri does and that Grace's avatar does and that Jake's avatar does in the movie is determined by them. Every gesture, every nuance, even in the little clip they ran tonight, you could see that you know, that all the expressions in Zoe's face as she's yelling and pushing Jake back, that's all exactly what they did. And our process, which was new to this film, we had to make sure going in that would be the case, that what the actors did would be 100% translated to their CG characters. Now, animators are involved, but their task, their job, is to neither embellish nor diminish what the actors have done, but to preserve it exactly. Now, they get to go play when it comes to the flying creatures and the ground creatures and all that stuff, but when we're dealing with the human performed characters, their job is to neither add nor subtract, but to preserve exactly. And it took the best animators in the world to do it, but it's the only thing that really made sense to us going into it. If we didn't sort of get it in the moment, on the day that the scene was captured, then what happens next? You know, then a bunch of people are going to do a performance by committee over a subsequent year. You know, that didn't make any sense to me as a director because I'm not an animator. I'm a director. I like to work with actors. So look, this is a learning curve. People are going to need to understand more about it. And you know, John and I are out. Do you want to add something to that?
I just want. Is that you back there, George? I can't really see. Okay,
hey, George.
so I'm going to put it on you guys. you guys have an opportunity to educate in ladies what we do and what the cast does. And what you said is exactly true. And you're a voice that can reach people and explain to them that this movie works because of the cast. And if you need help in doing that, we have video we'll give you that shows the side-by-side where you see the extraordinary performances given in the human form and in the CG form. We'll make that available to you. So I ask for your help in this, and thank you in advance for doing so.
All right, get us the video.
Thank you.
You'll have it tomorrow.